Hi, welcome back to Lost in Thought. My name is Jen, and today I'd like to talk about salt for the Romans. Now, yes, again, this is one of those things that we've probably all learnt at school, that salt, it was incredibly expensive. Even Roman soldiers, they were paid in salt. And is this true? Well, no. Let's explore.
Yes, salt was incredibly important for the Romans, but not only the Romans, but every other society at the time before electricity and modern refrigeration and freezing was invented, because salt was required to preserve things like meat and fish. It was really important. And by salting fish, by salting meat, it kills all the germs, the bugs, the bacteria through osmosis on the surface, and helps to keep that nice and safe to eat for longer. So it would have been incredibly important. But was it expensive?
Well, the salt trade, yes, it was expensive, but anything bulk is going to be pricey. It's the same today. If I buy a small bag of pebbles, say for the garden, it'll be really cheap. If I buy a few tons of pebbles, then it's going to cost a lot more. It's the same for salt. A small amount is going to be cheap. A large amount is going to cost a lot more. And that trade, that bulk trade, is going to fetch a high price and is going to have a high turnover. So Marcus Livius in 204 BC, he wrote that a pound of salt, so a pound of Roman salt, so a Roman pound would be about the same as 330 of our modern day grams, would cost 1 sextance, and a sextance is a sixth of an as, so a Roman bronze coin called an as. So that doesn't sound like much, does it? For a bit more perspective, Polybus writes that the daily wage of an infantry soldier, and he wrote this about 150 BC, so about 50 years after Livius is writing about the price of salt. Obviously things will fluctuate a little bit during that time, but I think we can use it as a good source. And Polybus writes that the wages for a Roman foot soldier, so an infantryman, 1/3 of a denarius, and that's about 20 times higher than the price of 1 pound of salt. And you're not going to eat a pound of salt a day.
On the topic of soldiers as well, they weren't paid in salt. I'm really unsure as to where this myth has come from. The soldiers, they were given a wage, and this did increase over time. As time went on, soldiers' wages increased. However, there were deductions around about this time. So in the imperial and early empire, there were deductions for things such as clothing and weapons and armour, and yes, indeed, food, which did include salt. So maybe this granule of truth in there, but not much of one.
Lastly, the word salary. It does come from the Latin salarium, and Pliny the Elder writes around about 1 AD, or the 1st century AD even, that salt is related to magistrates and duty abroad, and that's where we get the word salaries, so meaning your wages or your payment. But Pliny is trying to explain something from what he would have considered a long time ago, so it should be taken with a big pinch of salt, and there's no actual way at the moment, unless somebody digs up some new written information or new archaeological evidence, that the word salary is related to salt. So there we have it. Salt wasn't expensive. It wasn't used to pay soldiers, and the word salary probably doesn't come from the word salt either. But thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit shorter than my other videos. If you've liked this video, please like, comment down below. If you've really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I would be extremely extremely grateful to you. Thank you ever so much, and goodbye for now.